Hi everyone. There was no video yesterday just because I was playing footy and I was shattered after footy. I was really tired. So I was just like, oh, I'll just leave it and I'll do one tomorrow. So I'm doing one now, and I don't know. I've got loads of video ideas, but this isn't from one of them. I just want to sort of talk at you for a little bit. I don't know why. I've got a lot of feelings that I sort of want to get off my chest. Well, not even feelings, just thoughts. Like I don't know. I feel a bit shit tonight, and that's fine. That's okay. Just these things happen. You know what I mean? Um, Not even just shit. Just a bit like, ugh. You know what I mean? But I've had a good day. Like I've spent some good time with, like, some quality time with good friends. You know what I mean? I've had a really nice day. And like I just sort of wanted to discuss, like, I don't know, the idea of being vulnerable. Like, vulnerability, I know it can be a hard thing to sort of be. I don't know, like vulnerable. Being vulnerable is hard. Well, it is for me anyway. I don't know if that's just the same for everyone, but it is for me. And I just sort of wanted to dispel the belief that it's not okay and that you've got to have your guard up all the time and shit, because you just don't. It's okay to feel things sometimes, and it's okay to express those feelings. You know what I mean? You don't have to be like all mysterious and like that all the time. Like, you've got to embrace the feelings and work through them and think about them and change things. If you're feeling shit, you need to do something to make you feel better. There's no point just wallowing in it. You know what I mean? You need to embrace that you're feeling shit and say, okay, I'm gonna go and do something about this, like I'm doing this video now. And I also want to talk about like my friends. I'm so grateful for them. I don't think there's anything I value more in this life than my friends around me, because they've been there for me in like so many different stages of my life, and they've seen me grow and change so much, and they've stood by me always, even when I was doing like crazy shit. You know what I mean? Like crashing out and that. They were like always there for me, and they always by my side and whatever. And I've shared some magical experiences with a lot of, well, I know some of you will be watching, so a lot of yous. You just make my life better in every single way, and I'd be lost without yous. I don't know what I would actually do, to be honest with you, because this life we live can be very lonely at times, especially for me. I struggle quite a lot with feeling alone and feeling like I don't fit in, and I felt like I didn't really fit in anywhere my entire life, to be honest with you. But the lads always make me feel like I fit in. You know what I mean? They don't make me feel like ostracized or different or anything. They're always including me and always trying to like allow me to experience things, and like they like me for who I am. The boys just like me because I'm me. Even though you say some horrific things to me, you know who you are. I still love you, because like you just make me life better in every way, and you just been there for me through so much, and it's so important to surround yourself with good people. I wish I would have realized that sooner, because having the right people in your life can make all the difference. Like, there's this saying: if you're in a group of 4 smokers, you'll be the 5th, and if you're in a group of 4 runners, you'll be the 5th. And that's basically just saying you are your circle, you are who you are around. You pick up their habits, their traits. It's a good saying, you know. I spilled water on myself, a fucking idiot. But no, it's so important to have good people around you, people who accept you for you, make you feel comfortable, and challenge you. I think me and my friends are all very different, and that's what I like about all of us, because we've all got different ideas and different opinions on things. Well, like especially me and my other friends, and but they always challenge me. Does she just shout every time I record a video? Is that just a thing? I'm gonna have to interview her one day for the channel and say, like, listen, why? What is it about? Do you actively know that I'm recording these videos, or is this just some magnificent timing from the universe? I don't know. But yeah, the boys, I love yous, and I feel like I can be vulnerable around the lads and like open up to them and express things freely. And they've helped me through a lot of things in my life, and they've listened to me a lot, and I'll never forget that, because they were the only people that were listening to me. Do you know what I mean? And I love that. So if you're in the friendship group where you feel like you can't be open and honest with these people, then they're probably not your friends. They're probably just people you know. You know what I mean? It's so important to have like real good friends, especially in a generation like this one where a lot of people don't have the best intentions, and there's a lot of jealousy and competition between people. It's important to have like-minded people around you, so they don't. You want to be like brought up by your friends, and like you go up together rather than like they're dragging you down to an extent. You know what I mean? It's all about to come up with the boys, like you just go through things and make each other better, and you're there for each other. That's what it's all about. Like whether it's words or like wisdom every now and then, or just little glimpses of like you can do it, lad, I believe in you, and shit like that. It's always just important, because like I don't know, I feel like sort of growing up, I feel like I don't know, I feel like the lads helped me grow up more than anything, because of the specific circumstances that we were in, and like the situations we found ourselves in. We just did a lot of interesting things, like fun, interesting things. Like when we went to Snowdon, I'm not gonna name the boys' names. Well, yeah, I'm not gonna. But we climbed Snowdon. That's just for privacy, by the way. I love yous. It's we climbed Snowdon, and at the time, I was going through like a weird little like breakup thing. I'm not even like I don't know. It was a breakup, and like the lads sort of, I was heavy. Like I put on a lot of weight, and I was drinking a lot, and I was really, really depressed. It was one of the worst times of my life, to be honest. There was a lot of bad things going on. But the lads dragged me out of bed at like 7 in the morning, took me all the way to Snowdon, and then helped me climb Snowdon. It was fueled by, I think, a Red Bull and a bacon on, and nothing else. And I had a bag of Doritos and like 2 waters in my pocket. And like just the time that we spent together doing all of that was so impactful, because climbing it, like it was more like, obviously we were physically doing it and we had a great time doing it, but it was a metaphorical thing for me as well. You know what I mean? Like I climbed that mountain, I got over it, but it was only because I had the boys there. They helped me. Like we did it together, and it was a laugh and it was fun. It would have been a bastard of a climb doing it on my own, but I didn't have to do it on your own, and you don't have to do it on your own either. There's always people around you who will support you and who will look out for you and who will look after you, and you've got to appreciate those people. Like whether it's like your friends, your family, people you work with, neighbours, anyone. It doesn't really matter. It can be anyone in your life who is someone who genuinely looks out for you and cares about you, and that. Because that's what you need in your life. You need those people around you to make sure that you become the best version of yourself. And I think that's what life is all about. It's not about chasing these ideals of like, Frank Ocean said it best. If you know the last video, am I a fool to settle for a place with a nice view? Because it's not about that. It's not about the nice view. It's not these materialistic things that you need. It's not like your house. Like obviously you need your house, but like cavemen lived without houses. I just think human beings are so disconnected from what we were supposed to be nowadays. And I feel like that's the reason we go through all of these struggles. Boredom's not supposed to exist. How do you get bored? Do you think, when you really think about it, we're bored. How are we bored? We're just animals. We've got purposes. Boredom exists for us because we've created boredom for ourselves. The way we've changed the world and changed our direction as a species has created these phenomena, such as, like, if I was a caveman, I wouldn't be bipolar. Let's put it that way. I wouldn't be, because it wouldn't have existed yet. You know what I mean? It just wouldn't have been a thing. Like, depression is it's not a natural human thing. It's crazy because, like, obviously it's passed down genetically. It is. That's why I've got it. But, like, it's got to start from somewhere, and these disorders have only been things not for great portions of time. You know what I mean? Since we started these societies and job roles and shit like that, and these ideas and concepts of things, that's when everyone started going tits up. Really, when you think about it. Back then, you had your mates, your cave wife, and your little gaff wherever you stayed, and like you had spears and like a fucking fire, and like probably just free balling all of the lads. But you just go and like kill a saber-toothed tiger and come back, and like that's your day. And then you need to have a baby. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm saying? You wouldn't have time to be bored because you're doing things. Boredom is created when there's a lack of things to do, but there should never be nothing to do. You know what I mean? Because I think the only reason I was sitting there feeling shit, because I don't feel shit anymore while recording this video, I think the only reason I was beginning to feel shit is because I was bored. Boredom leads to depression. Depression leads to laziness. Laziness leads to nothing. It's all just one big hellish cycle. And it's a cycle that I've lived a lot of my life in. And it's not a nice one, I can tell you. For anyone who is struggling, seek help, because it gets better, bro. It does. It gets a lot better. Believe me. I've been you. I've seen those things. I've lived that lifestyle. Waking up, it's fucking 6 p.m. It's not good, is it, lads? Going to bed at like fucking 11 a.m. It's just not good for you, bro. We both know it's not. It only makes you feel worse. What you do after time, it's not even like you're up on the game. You're just up. Just up. Because you can't sleep. Because there's too much going on to fall asleep. I find it really difficult to turn off, like, and shut off. That's why I don't sleep much. That's why I'm always up late. Because I can't turn off. And I understand that, like, it's not a good thing for you. So I always try and go to bed as early as possible. I go to bed a lot earlier than I used to. Because you do get, if you see a full day, bro, you feel better. If you go out, I recommend, if you're ever feeling shit, half an hour of sunshine, half an hour of being social, drink a bit of water, and have something to eat, lad. Go for a walk. Go for a walk, have something to eat, go and see people in real life, talking to people face to face. Well, even if it's just going to the Tesco and getting, instead of going to the self-checkout, you go to the cashier. Because at least you're interacting with someone, you know what I mean? And I know social anxiety is crazy. Like, I cannot order face-to-face unless I really have to, because I am worried. Like, when I go to Starbucks, I don't like milk. Milk disgusts me, so I have to get oat milk or soy milk or something. So when I go to Starbucks, I have to do it on the machine, and I get like dead embarrassed when they shout me order out, because it's like, oh my god, I don't want anyone to think I'm a weapon. You know what I mean? But like, I'm not. I just don't like milk. I just think it's wild. It's social though. It's social anxiety. Why is it social anxiety? Generalized anxiety, I understand. But that's just the overwhelming pressure of everything getting to you, because you're living in the future and you're stressing out and you're worrying. You shouldn't have to. That's not a natural state to exist in. Do you think crocodiles get depressed and anxious? Well, they probably do if they're in zoos, which are made by people. Zoos just mimic society, bro. If you give the people entertainment and you give them peanuts, you know, a circus and peanuts is all you need to keep a society entertained, a people happy. Think about it, bro. It's right. They've always had some sort of spectacle to keep people entertained. You know what I mean? Like back in the days, it was Colosseum. Nowadays, it's football. Or it's social media. Or it's the Xbox. You know what I'm saying? Spend time away from these things. Live in the real world for a little bit. Spend time away from being online. Touch grass. Just touch grass. Things change once you start touching grass and going out into the world, interacting and meeting with new people and shit like that. I've met a lot of good people outside. I never really played online games growing up because I was anxious. I was worried to like go into lobbies with people because I just didn't know how to interact with people. I was just that anxious and I was that like, you know, and even now to this day, it's not something I really do. I always have to make sure my mic's muted and shit before I do like any sort of online games because I just get worried. You know what I mean? Unless like I know the people, I just get anxious and I shut off a little bit. And I've realised that I'm not like that. I thought I was like that for a long time, but I'm not like that when I go out into the real world. I'm quite outgoing. I'm not quiet or shy or nothing. I'm quite outgoing and, you know, I'll speak to people and say things and, you know, whatever. I'm a different person. Because face to face, you don't have time to think about shit. You just say it and just react and that's what it is and whatever. And, you know, like, you just say things to people and you don't have to worry about it. And even like when you're talking and conversating, you don't have to worry about what they thought of you until after, if that makes sense. Whereas when it's just like pixels and words on the screen, your head's just chocolate the entire time. That's why I don't recommend dating people online. You know what I mean? Meet someone in real life, bro. That's what I can recommend to you. Meet someone in real life. You know what I mean? Like, form a connection with somebody in real life. Like, okay, you might meet on like Instagram or whatever, but if your whole Instagram is your bed, it's not your Instagram, bro. It's someone else's. You're just living vicariously through someone else. That's what's all fucked up about this digital age, bro. It's not meant to be like that. You're meant to just live your life together with people. Like, I think once I settle down, I'll still use YouTube. I think I will. But like, I won't. I'll still use like Instagram, but like, you will never catch me on another social media. You know what I mean? Like, I'll still be putting like funny pictures on my Instagram, but like, even then it gets to the point where I'll probably just stop using that. And it's like, people can ring me. I'm an adult now, you know what I mean? Even though I hate the thought of phone calls, they make me anxious. They don't, but like certain ones do. I don't like ringing the doctors, which is crazy because the amount of times I've been to doctors over the years is insane. But yeah, I just don't like, I don't know, they make me anxious. They're so sterile, so like pristine. It's just weird. But yeah, I don't know. I've just got a lot of thoughts going on at the minute, and I feel like I've expressed quite a lot of them, to be honest with you. There's other things that I don't really want to talk about, that I don't really want to share at this moment in time. Because I've got to think about them more. I've got to dwell on them more. I can't just say things. And, you know, my biggest worry is that people will, like, I don't know. I like helping people and I like being this, like, you know, figure of wisdom, I hope. Not just some weirdo on the internet. I don't know. Either one, to be honest with you. But like, I feel like I can be this, I don't know. But like, I get worried. People might think like, oh, you know, he's this, he's that. Like, I'm just a person, bro. I don't know everything, and I don't want to give bad advice out to people because I don't know how it could fuck their life up. The advice I'm giving is experiences that I've had, things I've lived through and got to the other side of. So that's why I can say what worked. You know what I mean? After trying so many things, but there's still things I'm going through that I just haven't figured out yet. So I wouldn't be willing to share advice on them subjects because I just don't know. I'm not a savior, you know what I mean? I'm not this perfect angel. I'm just key, and I just talk on the internet. I just talk at people. I just vent. This is just venting. This is like a therapy session for me. I just talk at you about whatever I'm thinking about, and that's what it is. And there doesn't need to be anything about it. Just, if you're ever going to take any of my advice or anything, I'd just say, it's not always going to work because I'm not you. Ultimately, you've got to do those things. You can't just do what I did and expect it to work, because that's not the way things work. You've got to sort of take what I'm saying on board and think, okay, how can I implement that to my life? Don't always just jump when people tell you to. You know what I mean? Actually take the time to consider and think for yourself and think, do I actually want to jump? Not really, so I'm not going to. People who tell you what to do give you orders and like instructions, and it's like, you do this, you do that. You don't want them type of people in your life. You don't, because they're weird people. Why do they think they have some authority over you? Why do they think they can control you? You can't. We're all just people. We also just should have just been cavemen, bro. I think the whole point of this video is, I miss the Paleolithic era. I want to see some dinosaurs, bro. Get me in a loincloth and just send me to Jurassic Park and give me like a club. Not even a club, just give me like an infinite source of like music, I'd say. And just send me to Jurassic Park, and I feel like I'd find my way, and I'd never have to deal with a mental health struggle ever again in my life. It would just be what it is, you know what I mean? And I don't know, return to monkey. Remember when that was a thing? I think that was true. I think we should all just go back to living in the real world and just doing whatever. And it sounds really hypocritical saying this on YouTube. It does. But like, I go outside, bro. I do things, you know what I mean? It takes me like a few minutes a day to record these videos. I basically just ramble. I don't write a script. I don't do any research or information or anything. This is just whatever I think. It's not like biased opinions or unbiased. It's just like whatever I think, I say. I guess that's just the way I am. But yeah, I'll see you anyway.